So Matthew, as we come out the tail end of COVID, Malaysia's got some big plans. There's the My Digital initiative working towards 2025. I think there's something like 70 billion of investment coming in, and the government wants to create 500,000 jobs in digital. We've kind of heard this before, it's all good stuff. And I think we can agree that there's a number of sources of optimism around that, and that's why we're here. We love Malaysia, we see a great opportunity.
Yeah.
But there's obviously development areas as well. You've got your observation on both sides. Be interested to hear your sources of what do you think's great about what we've got, raw materials to start with. You know, what are the positive factors we've got going for us at the moment?
I'm very optimistic about the Malaysian digital economy and the ecosystem here, the high level of education here, the government support for the digital ecosystem. Those are all strong positive factors in Malaysia's favor.
Yep.
What I see as the big opportunity is for businesses to step up and play their part.
Yep.
I think that as businesses, we're all struggling to find the same digital talent. There's a lack of digital talent, which is really a lack of training and employment opportunities.
Yeah.
I think that businesses can do a better job here of offering trainings and development opportunities to the workforce more broadly, and then also investing in onboarding and training programs that are going to help employees make the leap and jump up the digital curve.
It's interesting because the complaint comes from the private sector quite commonly, but the solution derives from within the private sector itself. And it's going to it takes for businesses to take a longer term view.
Sure. I mean, I think that you have to take ownership of the solution. If you're not owning the solution, I think you're going to be a victim of a lack of digital talent. If you are taking the initiative to find the solution, to train people, to upskill the workforce and contribute to the digital ecosystem here, then you are going to have a strong brand. It's going to be easier for you to find that digital talent and retain them as well.
Absolutely.
So these are things that are really important to us, and why we're getting so involved with the digital ecosystem.
As a co-founder of a sort of high-level marketing business, your observation is the generic skills are good, the teachability is there, but there are sort of there's fine-tuning that's needed. What sort of areas do we need to invest more in?
One would be in the platforms, the specific digital tools that we use. And a lot of that, these tools are new to the ecosystem here. We're taking the responsibility ourselves to get our teams up to speed on them.
Okay.
And to be sure that we have that incorporated into our onboarding practice. And we don't have that expectation of people when they're coming in that they already know these obscure tools that haven't been here for very long.
Yeah.
The other thing that I see here as a marketing agency is, until very recently and even now, it's still heavily focused on print and events and TVs and things like that.
Yeah.
For us in the US, especially with a B2B clientele, it's all digital, and it's been digital for a while.
Yeah.
So that's one of the opportunities that we have, is being able to train the people on our teams on new B2B marketing practices.
Yeah, it'd be good to hear a little bit more about how you do raise the bar within your teams. That'd be interesting to hear. How do you execute that?
I think a great example would be marketing automation. So we do a lot of marketing automation. We're a HubSpot agency partner. So HubSpot is a big tool we use, but HubSpot is new to Malaysia. They gave their first workshop here about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. They haven't had much penetration or adoption here. So for us to try to find a marketing automation specialist who has HubSpot experience, impossible. The talent's just not there yet. So what we understand is we're going to have to find someone who has the right qualities there, bring them in, and get them on the HubSpot training. Fortunately, HubSpot offers a complete, very well built out library of training, so that makes it easy for us. But what we see as our opportunity is we can train the new marketing automation specialists on HubSpot. But the next step for us that we're doing this year is we want to roll that training out to public workshops.
Yes.
In the long term, if we start doing that now, it's going to be a lot easier for us to find HubSpot talent in the future.
No, absolutely. And do you feel as though you're kind of a lone voice in this approach? I mean, you're actually getting industry product endorsed training. I mean, that's a massive win for anyone joining your business in terms of their CV and marketability long term. If you rub shoulders with other business owners or marketing departments or CMOs, or do you think this is a little bit too isolated, you know, in your view? Do we need to see more of this approach?
I haven't seen as much of this as I'd like. I've seen little pockets of it here and there, and not necessarily focus on the Malaysian ecosystem. It's kind of like spread across the internet, different countries or different segments, recognizing this need to build knowledge in that area. I think that it's a big opportunity that businesses have during this time. How in the long term you build a strong brand for your business that is going to help you get the best talent and keep them engaged and retain them, because it's tremendous value there. That's your competitive advantage.
Absolutely. I guess the observation is we're hearing a lot of call for generic action at top level. You know, we must digitize, we must get our guys upskilled, and the solutions are very piecemeal, but we need to be more specific about what that actually looks like. You know, what technologies, what platforms, which areas, and for which purpose, and how do we get that executed?
I see a gap in the market, because I think when businesses look for more digitally trained talent, they're expecting the universities to step up there. But we know universities often move too slow for this. Digital moves way too fast. Industry is in a better position to take on that responsibility.
And I question whether university is a university's job, because they're not necessarily vocational. I mean, they're teaching a broader way of thinking, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, absolutely. Also within the market, we have certifications. So certifications and the training that comes along with it is very important, but it's also not applied knowledge. It's not actually unusual for us to interview people who have a lot of certifications, but then if you ask them about some questions related to the certifications, they can't remember the answers, simply because they haven't had a chance to apply it. So I think that this is a place where industry and businesses in general can help fill the gap.
Absolutely. And you mentioned universities there. Just to close off today, I'd be interested in your view on the graduate community. I'm just wondering if you've looked into hiring graduates and...
Oh, absolutely. Again, it goes back to finding the right people and the right mindset. There are some incredibly smart, amazing people coming out of university here. And so it's about finding them and giving them an opportunity, but then also setting them up for success. You can't bring a freshie into a business and not provide them structure, not provide them training, and expect them to be successful. I think there's a lot of value, and there's some business advantages too to potentially hiring freshies and then helping them build domain expertise in certain areas of the business, upskill them. You know, it's great for them in their careers, and it's also good for the business, especially if you can retain them for a long time.
I couldn't agree more, Matthew. Well, look, thank you for going into so much detail on that, and I think the point being, the objectives and the idea is great, and Malaysia could be on for success over the next 3 years, but the devil is in the detail. So we need to work on that, and the solution comes from within the private sector. I think that's a key observation here, right? Yeah, absolutely. Sam, thanks so much for having me on today. My pleasure. I'm really excited with the work that you guys are doing. Appreciate it. And I think that you guys are offering a great solution especially in these post-COVID times, helping companies navigate this change and accelerate change within their organizations. A lot of times you have to bring in outside expertise to do that. Sure. And you guys really bring it to the table. So really I'm excited to be able to share this table with you today. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, look, Matthew, thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing all that detail today. Some great insights. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Sam.